Well, we had another incredible week. It wasn't a full week, it was just a couple of days, but we went to Helena, Arkansas to the King Biscuit Blues Festival.
I am so excited to talk about this one because I am a huge lover of all kinds of music, and it had been about probably at least 10 years since we'd been back to the King Biscuit Blues Festival. There are just some amazing talent that is there. We had so much fun.
Yeah, that place it's an old riverport town. In its day, it was a huge riverport town. It's on the Mississippi River in Helena, Arkansas. It was one of the main, all it is agriculture in that part of Arkansas along the Mississippi Delta. It's kind of a depressed area unless you're a farmer and in the farming industry, because that's about all there is there. It was, history is incredible. Actually, my family, on my dad's side, was from that area. He was born just 45 minutes from there. It's in a little town called Snow Lake, Arkansas, which is just about gone now, but it was a very nice little town. Had 2 or 3 doctors in it at the time. It was pretty big. And then they moved to Elaine, Arkansas, which is about 20 minutes from there. And they had the hospital and everything, because Granddad was a doctor, and then my dad was a doctor, and before Dad went to World War II, and he didn't go back to Elaine after that. They moved different directions. So, but it was a great area. It's so much fun down there. I just can't even explain how much fun it is.
And the whole event takes place pretty much, other than the main stage, on Main Street. And the buildings that are, unfortunately, are vacant now, but that little downtown could really be something if somebody could go in there, if demographics would allow it to thrive. The architecture and stuff, I mean, all that stuff too, but it was amazing. There were musicians all up and down Main Street, just playing their instruments, singing, dancing. There were vendors selling clothes or jewelry, CDs, a little bit of whatever you wanted.
Yeah, they had a barbecue competition going on there too.
Yes, they sure did.
And Arkansas is no slouch for barbecue, let me tell you.
Yeah, they had, there's all kinds of food and drink venues all up and down the street too. But the music was, I can't tell you how much fun it was. If you've never been, it's every year, generally the first part of October, but they moved it back a week.
It was something, they moved it a day or two. So it was, but it's normally that time frame every year.
The first part of October. But if you've never been, you need to go. If you love music, you need to go. We got to see Delbert McClinton, who was one of our favorite. And then we heard a new guy we'd never heard of.
We never heard of him. He's on the Mississippi Hall of Fame of musicians, but we didn't know him.
But we know him now.
Yeah.
Man, he was so good. He had the crowd just all into it.
He had the crowd in his hand.
He was funny, and he could sing. His band was phenomenal.
Yeah, Paul Thorne's his name.
Yes.
If you ever get an opportunity to see Paul Thorne, by all means, go see.
Yes, he opened pretty much for Delbert, but man, he had the crowd just right here around his little finger. He was amazing.
Yeah, and Delbert.
He was amazing, and so was Delbert.
Yeah, Delbert. Delbert's no spring chicken anymore.
No, and he had been sick, so he was not as pumped, but he still did good.
Oh man, he was fantastic.
He's still good. He still did good too.
Even sick, he's amazing.
yeah, that says a lot for him too. But it was just the best, and people were so friendly and fun, and the place was extremely secure. We had someone tell us, actually it was a police officer, tell us that there was police officers there that you didn't know because they were just in plain clothes, but they had them everywhere. We didn't see any issue of.
No, there was nothing. It was a great crowd. I mean, everybody was just having a good time, and it's right there on the Mississippi River, and this is actually there's a levee right there, and
Train track,
train track,
and then below the train track is the main stage.
Right, and that's everybody just lines out on the levee. You know, you bring your lawn chairs or your blanket or whatever you want.
Some of them had canopies. They had
some guys stake the
fancy umbrellas. I mean, you saw it all there, but everybody was having a good time.
Yeah, a couple of these guys, I think they must have staked it out, 2 or 3 days before the festival, because they had whole little setups every day, and they'd go back to it, and they just let you set it up and enjoy it. It was so much fun. I know I'm saying that, repeating myself all the time, but trust me,
it is just, if you love blues music, it's someplace you got to go. I plan to not miss another one.
Yeah, they had not just the main stage, but they had several off stages down on Main Street and around. They had
but then a lot of people were just literally in the street or on the sidewalk.
Oh yeah,
playing their instruments, singing, and it was just too much fun.
Yeah, it was. And there's a lot of history, Civil War primarily there, and we went to one little fort. I can't think of the name of it.
Fort Curtis.
Yeah, something like that. And it was a real small encampment, but it showed how it was, and it would have been crowded, and how it was set up, and how they could fight off people, and there was a lot of historical markers told you about what was going on, and actually the historical markers were all over town.
They were. You could just be walking down Main Street, and there'd be one on the wall or in a window, or just really full of how it used to be back in the day with all the musicians and then all the other.
Well, King Cotton and Sonny Boy Williams, who was the original guy, or the big call there as a blues singer, and the radio station there promoted all this, and it caught on like fire, and it's just been going on forever. And
the guy that actually started it just passed away recently.
Yeah, he did. Actually, it might have been within this last year. So it was. I mean, I just can't. It was so much fun. And but they also have for more history. If you're looking for the history of the area, they have the Delta Cultural Museum. Is that what it's called? And
that's right on Main Street.
Yeah, that's everything on Main Street, and they have got everything. There's a lot of civil rights history.
A lot of memorabilia of like Johnny Cash. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head, but there's like
B.B. King might be coming to you.
Yeah, B.B. King, that would be a good one. Yeah, but just lots of memorabilia of their albums or some of their musical instruments were there. And
yeah, it was something. I mean, the museum. One side of the museum was basically the history of the blues in Arkansas, and a lot of them say on the Arkansas side of the river was what they meant versus the Mississippi blues, and so you had so you could go through there and do all the music, and you can see the old radio set up and radio station set up and everything, and then you go to the other side of the museum and you'd get away from the King Biscuit. I probably didn't tell you, King Biscuit was actually a flour and cornmeal manufacturer, and it was King Biscuit forever, Blues Festival, and then there was a little issue about copyright, I guess, on the name, but they got that all straightened out after a year or so, and so it's King Biscuit Blues Festival again. But King Biscuit is actually
flour.
It's actually flour. So I guess it was a good one. And then back in the day. And then on the other side of the museum, it's civil rights, and it was quite interesting on it. And you'll see some of it in the video here, and it'll show some of the conditions that people lived in, and it'll show you some KKK information, and it'll show you different things. That was a sad time in our history, but
it is history.
it is our history. You don't want to forget history. If you forget it, then you know what that means, and that's not good for anybody. So learn your lesson with history.
So we don't go back there.
Yeah, we don't want to make the same mistakes we made before, and not only just during that time period. The time period went all the way back to the 1600s and to the Civil War, and then up through the civil rights of the 60s. So we've come a long way. We've learned, and we are a better country for what we've done and where our country's going. So don't miss that section. When you go there, I hope you go there. Don't pass up this little museum. It's great.
And I think we need to do a little plug for where we stayed.
Yep, we stayed at Pat Kelly RV Park, and they got several spots, but you're tight. Yeah,
They're tight,
yeah.
but for while we were going, it was perfect because
Yeah.
we didn't do anything but go to the Blues Festival. Although that Friday, it rained and rained and rained and rained till like 5:30 the afternoon. So we were in the RV during that time, but it was okay. There's no commons area. It's just strictly just a place to park your RV, but it does have full hookups. And we would definitely stay there again
Oh yeah,
for the
Pat,
Blues Festival. And he was awesome.
Pat was a great guy.
He was very friendly, very accommodating. We got to know him and really enjoyed
Yeah, I like him.
talking to him.
You talked to Pat. You swear to God, you've known him since you were his cousin. If you've known him since you were born. I mean, the guy's a friendly dude.
He's very personable.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
He's a great dude. And accommodating. If you got an issue, he's right there to take care of it. So he's a great guy.
Well, remember this: live life to the fullest and make a difference along the way. And please don't forget to pray for one another.
Yeah, pray for all of our men and women to military service.
Yes, please.
Y'all have a great week, and we'll see you.
Next time.
Yeah, y'all have a great week. Bye.
Don't get left behind. Bye.